Good morning. This is Connor from 500 Edge, where we trade SPX 0DTE options. If you want to join the team, link in the description. In this video, I'm going to recap the previous session and break down what matters today ahead of the opening bell. On Wednesday, we took a total of 4 trades, 2 winners, 2 losers. Largest loser, 75.90 long call for negative 100% return. Largest winner, 75.60 long call for 149% return. We also closed out our VIX 17 calls that we bought a few days ago for a 20% return. That brings our total profit on the session to $847 for a total return of 32.19% in our 1% risk model portfolio, not risking more than 1% per trade. The SPX closed at low 75.53, down 0.74%. Growth underperformed, tech down 1%. With breadth negative around negative 1200. We broke our transitional level of 75.95, the SPX put wall of 75.90. That sparked momentum on the downside. We had some tradable bounces, but we really just bled lower into the max put level of 75.50, and that is the strike with the highest 0DTE put volume. Max put, you can see here on the chart, and this is regarded as our downside target and lower bound. We bought the dip at 75.65, not a gamma level, but a previous bounce point, and we were looking for reversion to the flip level of 75.95. Peak in volatility, crush, that was a supportive variable, and this was a decent up move. However, I was a little bit too aggressive, and that did not pay off. We essentially just rolled over here into that max put of 75.50, which was the second setup, buying the dip here and booking profits into strength for a nice winner. For today, the 15-minute trend is bearish with the 20 EMA in green below the 40 EMA in red. And the fact that we closed at lows yesterday is a bearish signal telling you that selling was not done. So there's always a good chance when you close at lows that you do get some follow through in the next session. And a break of that low, which is basically 75.50, would be the continuation signal. Early pre-market, we are seeing continued weakness. SPY down about 0.4%, Qs down about 1%, with technology down nearly 1.8%. In terms of support below, we have 75.30. So if we go back here, this was a range we traded in for 2 days before we had that breakout to the upside. So what was once resistance becomes support. That is 75.30. Below that, we have 75.10, 7500. So that would be major support on the downside today. And then below that, we have a gap zone. Gap entry is about 7,500, fill 74.73, with the gamma zone here at 74.80, 74.75. On the upside, bulls need to reclaim these transitional levels to reestablish control. We have SPY flip 75.51, and then the SPX flip at 75.65. A break of these flip levels could spark momentum on the upside, just as they sparked momentum on the downside yesterday. Above that, we do have some micro resistance we maybe want to keep an eye on here, 75.75, 75.90, 85-ish. But the major resistance level beyond that flip level is going to be back to 7,600, which is now the call wall. Transitioning over to our dashboard, total gamma exposure for the SPX remains positive, 540 million notional, although this is a reduction of about 50% day over day. Now, where this actually transitions from positive to negative and vice versa is the zero gamma level, which currently stands at 74.45. This differs from our volatility flip level, which is a leading indicator, and that currently stands at 75.65. So for 0DTE trading, that is our main transitional level, and you can see it clearly here on the SPX notional gamma chart. Above, all strikes are positive, that is supportive for the market price. Below, all strikes are negative, that is destabilizing for the market price. So being below the flip, we would anticipate volatility to pick up. But given the fact we're still in positive gamma, we are not in full-blown risk-off mode just yet. In terms of volatility today, 0.7% implied move. That is an implied high of 76.06 and an implied low of 7,500. So 7,600, 7,500, both in the probable range today for a potential target. If we can reclaim that flip, that's when we could potentially see that gamma squeeze on the upside as that positive gamma rebuilds. On the downside, we have a bit of a standout strike here, 75.30, 75.25, which is still a net positive. So that would be that first potential support zone. And then we have 75.10 and then 7,500. Now, 7,500 doesn't look very big here looking at notional, but if you go to the absolute chart, you can see 7,500 is a very big gamma level looking at calls and puts.